Okay, I was out at Lake Cohoon Saturday and I made a few recordings. Here's one of them. For those new to side imaging, what we're looking at is basically as if you were hovering above the boat looking down. The top of the screen would be the front of the boat. This is to the left of the boat, the right of the boat. This dark blue area is what's below the boat that you generally don't see a whole lot in that area unless you look at your downward looking sonar. The deeper the water, the wider this area. And you'll see we're going to get in some shallow water where it's going to get real narrow. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed here. For those of you that fish Cahoon, I believe with this video I started it about out from the boat ramp before you make that left turn. Shortly before the left turn, I think is where I'm recording. So we're heading out. Not a lot on the bottom right here. I'll stop it right here. You can see some structure, some stumps, and as well as some logs on the bottom. Right here I'm riding along the channel. I'm kind of in the channel. I'll be out of it here shortly. Pause it here. You're just starting to see some logs. The shadows are shadows from the logs. Cruising along here. I'll stop it. This is lots of trees on the bottom here. Don't really see branches on them, just basically the trunk of the tree. And there are a ton of these on the bottom of this lake. They're just everywhere, and they seem to really collect in the channel. So cruising along again, you can see over here is a long log. Up here, let's stop it here. Few collected over here. Alright, here we go. I'm coming up to a shallow point here. I'll stop it. Here's a shallow point sticking out. You can see how narrow it got. So we're going to cruise along back into the deep water. These little spots are just stumps that are off the bottom. The longer the shadow, the taller the stump. So you can tell these shadows aren't really long. So they're not very tall stumps. Alright, here we go. I just went over the channel. You can see where it got wider. A bunch of trees laying over to the right. And cruising along. Flat here. A slight little channel. Maybe an old creek or something right there. There we go. Picking up a lot of structure here. I went over the channel again, and you can just see all the logs laying in the channel, especially up here. They're crisscrossing each other. Just tons of them on the bottom there. There's a real long log just laying on the bottom right there. This lake has got a ton of logs, and once again I'm going over a very shallow area right here, and then we're back into the deep water. Now I'm off to the right of the channel. This is the channel over here, and you can just see it's loaded with logs. Big pile of logs collected over here for some reason. I'm probably in water 20 feet deep, and you guys know this channel runs just over 25 to 30 feet deep. Once again, running parallel with the channel, and you can just see the channel's kind of zigzagging off to my left with some logs off to the right. And you can plain as day now see the channel. You can see the drop off, this log laying across the drop off. Lots of logs in the water. And we go a little further, and you can see the logs. And here I'm starting to cross the channel. That's why you're starting to see some logs in the dark blue. And you can see here the channel takes a turn to the right, and I cross directly over it. Tree into the right of me here. So I'll stop it here. Now the channel's off to my right with still some logs to the left. And once again I'm running parallel with the channel. Here we go, parallel, and there we go. Now the channel makes a 90-degree turn to the left, and I cross over it again, and you can see plenty of logs in the channel. No shortage of structure on this lake. And I'm going up again, and this channel must have went off to the left and made a 180, and now it's coming over to the right again. And just once again, just amazing how many logs. I guess they just collect in the channel, and they just here we go. Now the channel comes this way and makes a 180 and goes the other way, and so here's an elbow turn in the channel with lots of structure. And we're pretty much almost at the end of this first video clip, and we are. I've got two other videos. I might post them later, but for now, there you go, a little bit of Lake Cohoon.